Alright, I'm standing here with Ian from Free Talk Live, and you had something you wanted to rant about today, and I think I know what that is.
Well, I don't know if it's so much of a rant as I'm pretty excited about what's happening in Keene with the City Council wants a Bearcat. I don't know what you want to call it. People speaking out against pushback, resistance. I don't like those terms so much, but people speaking out against the militarization of the police. I'm not sure how much your viewers have been following this, but the Bearcat is coming to town in New Hampshire, or at least in
the
Keene.
Attack truck.
Right.
The attack tank.
Let me show you what it looks like. Actually, I happen to have a picture of it right here. That thing. That is coming, that's what the Keene Police Department would like to have. Now, Manchester already has one sitting out behind the police department there. This is something that is over 300 of them are across the country. So if you live in a medium to large size city, guaranteed there's at least one in your police department already. Keene is the size of 23,000 people. It's a pretty small place, so to have something like this here seems pretty unnecessary, I think, to the average person. And when people found out that this was going to happen, the city council put it in the middle of the holiday season. So they tried to keep it hush-hush, but one city councilor spoke out against it, and that created a snowball effect of people saying, whoa, we don't want this in our little town. We don't want our police to be militarized, etc.
Well, you know, we had this situation. I was talking to your co-host, Mark, actually, earlier today about a national issue, and he was so frustrated. He has almost no impact on Washington, and he's a pretty powerful person but compared to most Americans having a big talk show and everything. But something local, you guys can make a difference, and you can put a thorn in Washington's side right there in Keene.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. What happened was there's so much, I guess, people speaking out about this that Lenco, the manufacturer for the Bearcat, this monstrosity, came to town to the special meeting that was held where people were able to publicly comment about this to the city council. So they brought their head salesman out, Jim Massery, and they wanted to save the sale. They want to make sure they get this deal. And afterwards, after 30-something people spoke out, and the supermajority of them speaking against it, after the meeting was over, we were outside. Jim Massery comes up, and his little assistant was there with him too. So basically 2 people came from Lenco.
Oh, and he had a police guard at the time too, didn't he?
He did, that's right.
They were all standing around with folded arms, angry a bit.
Yeah. And so his little assistant told me that the reason they came to Keene, because they don't normally go around to each place. Normally it's a done deal when these things happen. City councils accept it and it's over. No one even really knows about it. But this was the only time they've ever had to come out and try to rescue a sale. And what he told me was this was the only place, Keene, New Hampshire is the only place in over 300 of these things going out where they experienced this kind of resistance, people not wanting it, people speaking out, people contacting city councilors, people calling Lenco, and just all kinds of activism surrounding this. And it wasn't just Free Keene.
You guys are hitting the mark here, but there are a couple things I saw that could have been improved. And one of them was that I didn't see any attempt to go ahead and bring a laptop to the city council and try to show that video,
actually,
get it on camera.
You didn't see it. That's because it wasn't allowed. I did actually attempt to bring.
No one. Well, why is there no video of them banning you from? Because they tried to stop you from showing this video. They told you couldn't do it. Where's the video of you guys going in there with the laptop, trying to open it up, and having them stop you?
I considered doing that day, but I'm out on suspended sentence right now, and I had a feeling that there were 4 cops in there.
Yeah, I'm not saying you should have done it, but I'm just surprised.
If you want something done, you got to do it yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
I can't twist somebody's arm into doing something like that and taking a risk like that.
Well, I'm not talking about risking arrest. I mean just going in there and getting video of them telling you, no, close that laptop, and then backing off. That's the that's the MO I'm talking about. That would have been effective. And the other thing that would have been more effective is, I can't find any video of that guy, that salesman guy. Where's the video of him interacting with the authorities, and protecting him and all this stuff? I just wish there were video of it.
He was sitting in the audience. He responded to a few questions during it. He didn't actually get up and do his own speech.
Yeah.
So he was just kind of there as, I guess, a resource for them.
But the reason I ask these questions is because you guys are so close to perfect on this that it makes me more likely to see
it's a great
imperfections.
Issue.
It's like sunspots on a sun.
Right.
So take it in context.
Yeah. It's a great issue. I mean, people are vehemently opposed to this, and it's a super majority of the people in Keene. The flyers that I showed you earlier, I've hit the streets personally with Kelly Voluntarist, and we've flyered at least 700 over the last week. And so we're talking to people, and I would say it's probably 70 to 80% opposed to the Bearcat, maybe like 15, 20% that don't know, they're unsure, and then maybe 5 to 10% that are in favor of it. And likely most of the people in favor of it are the government flunkies or government employees, etc. But one of the things I wanted to say was, we are making a difference. This is we've already made history in that no one's ever, the Bearcat company's never had a pushback on this at all. So just the fact that Keene is, we're setting the standard for this, and hopefully with like thanksbutnotanks.com, what we'll have is we'll have resources that other communities can put to use. We've already developed the song, for instance, the song that Thanks But No Tanks sung to the tune of Three Dog Night's Joy to the World, and all these tools that people can utilize in their community. So what would really be the best is if we actually succeed and change the minds of the city councilors, because at a local level, in a place like Keene, New Hampshire, not so much in big cities like Phoenix or wherever, where you've got millions of people and the bureaucrats just don't give a damn. In Keene, these people, you know where they live. They've got phone numbers to their house. You can call them directly at their home.
They still don't
care. I understand that viewpoint, and I tend to agree with it, but unlike DC, it is possible to change minds in Keene. I mean, if they get the feeling, if their phones are ringing off the hook, and I heard from one of the city councilors, Kelly had a meeting with one of them, she said she's been getting a bunch of calls. So if enough people are calling these city councilors from the area and expressing their opinion, they may finally get the realization like, oh, maybe I won't get reelected next time around.
But, it's still a success if you guys change 0 minds in the city council.
Oh, I think it's a success from a publicity standpoint.
Just fighting it out is a success.
Getting Free Keene on the right side of an issue that a lot of people agree with, that's important. Making history in that we were the first place to ever, try to say no to it. But if it does work and we do turn it around, it'll be a huge victory for peace.
And it'll be a victory over Washington without ever leaving the boundaries of the city. And that's where that's where a lot of these battles are going to be won.
And it's so great to be in a place like Keene, where it's not just Free Keene, it's the occupiers that are helping on this, and just a lot of average folks from Keene, college students are really against this.
Well, is this what I wish you guys would do more often? Is figure out ways to do things that put you on the same side as the people in Keene, and not opposed to 50% of the people of Keene. That's what seemed to work out best in Manchester, was when the spending cap issue, the activists were allied with the people, and it turned into the entire city practically being against the government. And I'm glad you guys are doing it, but I wish it had been sooner, because there's so many issues that you guys will go out on a limb on that the public is not going to support you on.
Yeah, well, I understand all the critiques, and I get it that some people don't like smoking pot in Central Square or women being topless. But to me, I still think that victimless crimes are a huge issue that we face, and I find civil disobedience a legitimate form of critique.
Well, I happen to actually agree with both of the ones you just mentioned.
But these are the biggest ones that people disagree with.
If you look at the videos though on those issues, most of the people are actually pretty supportive. You may be getting a vocal minority in Keene that are opposed, but the things that the majority in Keene seem to be opposed to are more the yelling, the nastiness, the Sam Dotson with the megaphone, that kind of stuff. That's what seemed to really piss off the local. Oh, and
that's not the feedback I've gotten.
The out back inside, going out to kids at the government schools and stuff like that. And
some people don't.
That's
like that.
very unpopular. Although again, the reason I criticize it is because you guys are so close to the mark and you're doing so many things right. That's what forces me to talk about it, right?
Well, we're out there, we're throwing it up against the wall, we're seeing what sticks. And, when you do that, you're going to get some people are going to be unhappy.
Right.
There's just not much else going on in other places that is even worth talking about. There's not controversy happening anywhere else because there's nothing controversial going on. But anyway, all that aside, I think that this tanks issue, this Bearcat thing, is a huge issue. It's really working well, and it does show that you can sort of make a difference against the federal government even on a local level. And it's not over yet. The next vote is going to be on March 1st. So we're still hitting the streets. We're still talking to people. In fact, the college kids apparently have designed their own flyer and are printing out their own. So like there are things happening on this that I don't even know about.
Yeah, this is not going to be used against college students.
Yeah, right. No one believes it, and it's been a great experience so far. And thanks, but no thanks.com.
All right. Thanks, Ian. Thanks for what you do.
Sure.
See you out there. Have you played your fill of pro-government video games? MineThings.com could be the solution. It's free, imaginative, and you can play it entirely in your web browser. Recolonize the smothered earth, dig up cool artifacts, compete with other players in a free market scramble. Just remember to use the coupon code Ridley. That gives you twice the mining rate. MineThings.com